Good morning, everybody. So I think beetle keeping is gonna drive me to drink, honestly. So about 2 weeks ago, I started digging and looking for pupa, and I didn't find any. I found some large larvae dead and 3 live ones. So the live ones actually went into an incubator in some of the substrate to see if I could get them to turn quicker. And then I took stock of all my adults and found 4 females because I had lost an adult this year that turned out to be the male. So a few weeks later, doing my checks on the weekend, I see a dark one covered in soil that looks a bit weird. This one. So I pull everything out, and sure enough, it's a new one. Unfortunately, this one also looks female, so I didn't look out and get a male. But it was very frustrating because I just looked a few weeks ago for larvae. So I essentially dug out the entire tank today trying to find a pupa to show you and found none. So I've kind of wet things and packed them in again. This is kind of a clay sand mix that if you wet it and pack it, it dries to like a crust like this. So I did that, and I spread some dry on top because I didn't want them to be totally soaked in here. But I did find 3 more large larvae, and I think I'm going to put these in the incubator too. This one's the biggest probably. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I can force one to pupate and then show it to you guys. But I feel very confident now, like between last year's new adult count and this year's, I feel pretty confident this is actually producing pupa. I just haven't managed to catch one and figure out where. Maybe one little thing that's a tip is this one. You can see it's red, which would be the clay substrate in here, and not, under these plants there's kind of a succulent potting mix, and in this corner it's actually a mix of sand, soil, and like jungle terrarium substrate. So it's definitely have dug out of somewhere on the clay side. I'd be tempted to think it would be towards the middle where it's a little moister, but I have no proof because I don't know where the heck it's emerged from. I didn't find like a really obvious tunnel, coming to the surface anywhere. So, a little bit of a mystery still, but it's kind of interesting, and I think anybody who sets up something like this should be able to get the same results. So I'll let you know how the ones in the incubator do, and if I get a better proportion of those changing, I may try to figure out how to add some more heat to the substrate in here. I kind of put on that tiny heating pad here, but it's not, it makes it maybe the 80s, high 80s, and it doesn't reach very far. It's only really localized on that side. So we'll see, but I just wanted to give you an update, let you know how things are going. I still love keeping these guys. They're a little hard to get a hold of. I think between the pandemic and just demand has gone up because more people know about them, the prices have gone up. It would be really neat if we could start kind of figuring out a better way to produce them in captivity a little more reliably, kind of take the pressure off the wild collecting. And I know there are a few other people out there, so you guys should have a good resource if you do want to try keeping these. Have a great summer, and hopefully I'll have an update for you soon.